2 videos in one night? Are you kidding me? Welcome back, everyone, to APDL action. It's Season 10, Team Rocket themed. I'm your coach, Jkkayy of the Goldenrod Radio Rockets, and this is Week 3 that just happened last week. We just flipped over the script into Week 4. All the matchups were just announced, and I'm catching up on videos while I'm in West Virginia for work. So it's going to look a little different than my normal setup. It's going to sound a little bit different, but I fixed my audio issues. So everything should work fine, and we'll be able to get through, I think, one of my favorite games I've ever played in APDL. So it's definitely up there. But I don't want to bury the lead too much. Let's get into the team builder and talk about our Week 3 roster, what we're bringing against the Castelia City Kingambits and Coach Edahl. So right away, we are leading off our team builder with Archie the Tentacruel, an old friend, back again. Our special defensive wall Tentacruel. This week, doing a little bit of extra work as our rain setter as well. We are bringing a rain team and actually like a full rain team, not just rain dish to go some healing with Tentacruel. We're actually kind of leaning into rain dance a little bit. So Archie is running Scald and Ice Beam and Knockoff again and Rain Dance again. It's the same move set as last week, but we've got a Damp Rock for extra rain, max HP and special defense. We're back to that kind of good old roll for Tentacruel, but having the Rain Dance is going to be a big part of our game plan, and it feeds into kind of like the 2 Pokemon coming up that will abuse the fact that we're running Rain. And the first one is Wally the Wailord. I can't believe it, but we've brought an actual Wailord to our game. I am actually really excited about the fact that we have Wailord on the team. It was picked up in a pack reroll last week, along with Kilowattrel and Klefki, and we are bringing this HP monster to the field this week to help us kind of take advantage of that rain. It's going to boost out that Hydro Pump damage, and Wailord is just a fat special attacker. Our HP stat is right around 550, which is absolutely nuts. And we've got a really good special attack stat. We're running Oblivious and a Chesto Berry for that kind of one-time rest reset. Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, and Clear Smog just in case Ryan wants to get cute and run something that's going to try and set up on me. Wailord is pretty straightforward. We're going to click the move that does the most damage. And if we have a chance, we're going to reset that HP with a Resto Chesto and go from there. But definitely more on the fat side than anything. We did dump 4 points of speed, kind of the leftovers, into speed just to kind of help speed creep some of the slower things on the Kingambits team. It's just kind of the one spot where it made a difference, and could be helpful in very unique situations. Something that is not going to need help in the speed department is Nigel the Kilowattrel. This is our fast special attacking Pokemon this week. A rain abuser, if I ever did see. Volt Switch, Hurricane, Thunder, and Weather Ball means that I have a pivot move in Volt Switch, 100% accurate Hurricane and Thunders, and then Weather Ball, which is a water type move in the rain, and just is a great base 100 in the rain. So really great 3 moves there. Actually, great 4 moves. Choice Specs means my attack stat is through the roof. I'm competitive. If there was ever anything that Ryan wanted to try and do to lower my stats, that competitive boost is there. Nigel is going to wreck through a team if Edahl isn't careful. So really excited to use kind of this first 3 Pokemon as like my rain core. We really want to set up the rain. It helps. Tentacruel over the long haul in the matchup. It gives Waylord a lot more of a boost, and it gives Kilowattrel a chance to just kill things. So that's kind of our Rain Core. Really excited to kind of lean into that strategy this time around. And then the back half of the team is going to be some support. It kind of falls outside of the Rain team, but also is just like really solid defense and a surprise for you. So back again, Ice Shelf the Avalug, exact same EV spread, heavy duty boots and sturdy to intact that sturdy no matter what hazards Ryan tries to throw at me. Rapid spin to get rid of those hazards. Especially because I'm running a Kilowattrel, so rocks are not fun. And after the hazard stacking that happened last week with the Edmonton Ice Cues, I really want to make sure that I have a way to get rid of those hazards. Body Press and Icicle Crash are just kind of like my two good attacking moves, and Recover is there to, give me some more longevity in the physical fights. Stantler, Blitzen the Stantler is back again as another kind of bulky pseudo physical attacker defender kind of role. The Eviolite and the Intimidate, back again, just kind of the best combination. Side Shield Bash to increase my defense, along with Facade this week, Jump Kick and Sucker Punch for just kind of the coverage move of the week kind of deal. So really great set, really good physically bulky set that can actually dish out some damage as well. And kind of playing a similar role as it did in week 2, just with a little bit different moveset this week. And then we get into quite possibly my favorite set I've ever come up with some help from a couple of different people. We are running a Utility Sweeper Jumpluff. Acrobatics against Edahl's team is stupid good. Jumpluff is a secondary rain setter. We're running Rain Dance. Strength Sap is there to help kind of wear down some physical threats and be kind of that utility in those two moves. But we're running Swords Dance and Acrobatics because once that Focus Ash is gone, Jumpluff is faster than most of Ryan's team. And my attack stat, after the Focus Ash is gone, Acrobatics gets boosted. Oh my goodness, is this something that I did not foresee coming to be this good? But it is. In this particular matchup, Jumpluff on the offensive side of things is actually something that I'm really excited to use. So that's the Dandelion set, and you'll have to wait and see if it actually works out or not. So here is the team for week 3. We've got, again, Tentacruel on the specially defensive side of the house. Avalug and Stantler kind of fill in that defensive role on the physical side like they did last week. Waylord and Kilowattrel are my offense that thrive under rain. And then that little Jumpluff, that demon cotton ball right down there. I always mix this up because it's reversed and backwards, but that demon little cotton ball right down there is a surprise threat and a utility sweeper that kind of plays into the rest of the team. So I think this is a really awesome set, and I need to bring my A game because Ryan has had my number for the last couple of times we've played. I have not beaten him in a while, and I really want to keep the train rolling for the Goldenrod Radio Rockets here. I want to get to 3-0. I want to go into the midpoint of the season undefeated. We're towards the top of the power rankings, and I want to keep it that way. So let's dive on over to Showdown, and we'll check out the matchup. So our team, again, Tentacruel, Waylord, Kilowattrel, that's the Rain Core, supported by Stantler, Jumpluff, and Avalug. Ryan brought to this matchup a Berserker, Machamp, Druddigan, Talonflame, Frostmoth, and Decidueye. So right away, a lot of stuff that's actually weak to Jumpluff Acrobatics. We'll keep that in mind for the back half, but I see Kilowattrel's Hurricane doing massive damage to 3 out of the 6 mons here. Thunderbolt cleans up the Talonflame really well. and then Druddigan and Berserker will deal with other things. Wailord's Ice Beam does really well here, and I think we've got some good options to be able to fight through a lot of the defense that he has. Berserker could be a problem. Both of my Mons on the physically defensive side struggle to win a long drawn out game against a Berserker, but we have the chance with Avalugg to do some really good damage and be intact with Sturdy. And then, if Stantler can get going with Side Shield Bash, who knows? So let's dive into the game, and we'll go from here. So right off the bat, I'm going to start with Kilowattrel just because it's got a really good matchup across the board. And at the very worst, I can Choice Specs, Volt Switch, and get out. And that's what I'm going to do here. I don't want to take unnecessary damage. We do get a lucky crit here on the first play of the game, but it doesn't do super duper much damage, and we're just going to go right out into Ice Shelf. Avalugg's got a great matchup against a Druddigan. I'm not really threatened here at all. He goes for Stealth Rocks and then Glare, which is annoying, but it's a really good set. And now I know for sure I don't want to make any of my sweepers, my Kilowattrel or my Jumpluff, I want to make sure that they don't get glared and slowed down. Avalugg being paralyzed is not that big of a deal. He obviously can't do anything to me, but I'm going to go for Ice Crash, and we do so much damage to that Talonflame, to the point where it's a 2-shot, and I know I can live whatever he's going to try and hit me with. He goes for Tailwind, which is spooky and not something I expected. I thought, Talonflame would be, physical, pivot mon, going for, big damage, not necessarily a support set. So really cool bring from Ryan here. I unfortunately get paralyzed, and I'm not able to kill this Talonflame with another Icicle Crash like I would have. But that's okay. We're going to take an Overheat, which brings me all the way down to my Sturdy. I did not expect special Talonflame, let alone, so I didn't expect support Talonflame, let alone specially offensive Talonflame. So again, really cool set from Ryan. Overheat brings me all the way down to my Sturdy, which is unfortunate, but we are able to get an Ice Crash off, but we miss. So in week 4, I missed 4 Iron Tails, and in week 2, I missed 4 Iron Tails, and in week 3, I missed an Icicle Crash where I could have gotten a kill. Man. So Air Slash is going to kill my Avalugg, and now Hazards are on the field to stay, which sucks. It really does suck. So now, knowing that he is a special Talonflame, and he's already had that attack drop, this is easy pickings for Tentacruel to come in and really kind of take over. And I want to set the rain. I want to ideally get my Rain Dance off and start abusing that with my Rain Core. I'm going to swap out to Wailord because I have Rest, and I can rest off a Glare, which I think is probably coming here, which it is. And now in the rain, Hydro Pump is going to do tons of damage. We eat that Earthquake really well. Ice Beam does a ton of damage, and a Superpower is not enough to kill us, and we do get the rest off, and we pop our Chesto Berry. So great exchange here. I missed again. I gotta stop making. I gotta stop using moves that aren't 100%. Because if it's not 100%, it's 50-50. And holy crap, am I just king of missing moves in the last 2 weeks. Should have just went for Ice Beam. I figured there might be a switch in there, and potentially for him to, potentially try and heal the Druddigan up later. So I didn't want to go for the Ice Beam in case something else came out. It was like Hydro Pump in the rain is doing amazing damage to everything on his team, and I didn't want to risk Ice Beam being a lesser damage roll, which in this scenario would have been a kill, but we'll deal with that, I guess, later. So we missed the Hydro Pump, we get glared again, and then we are able to eat that Earthquake. We get paralyzed, unfortunately. Take another crit earthquake, which is, whew, makes me sweat a little bit. We get paralyzed again, and then we're able to live that final earthquake and rest, and now we're back up to full HP, but we need to swap out. Here's where I make a little bit of a blunder, right? So Jumpluff has a focus sash, and focus sash is only used up if I take 99. I take damage that was going to be a one-hit KO. So now after taking Stealth Rock's damage, I'm at 75%, and my focus sash is intact, which is a problem because acrobatics now is not doing enough damage. The good thing about the set that I brought is I have strength sap, so I can get back up to 100%. Luckily, he's going to swap out into Talonflame, and I'm going to double right away back into Tentacruel. I know I can face this thing one-on-one. He's going to Tailwind again and go into Machamp, and I go for a Scald, and I burn the Machamp. Man, any other matchup, that would be best case scenario. However, and I'm checking the Pokepaste because I can't remember if this thing was Guts or not. I imagine it was, and it was running a Flame Orb. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. However, not the Pokemon you want to burn. I'm going to swap out because I don't want to take a Guts boosted move, and I'm specially defensive, not physically. So I'm going to go into Blitzen, who is the physical wall I have left. I actually take a Guts boosted Facade after Intimidate pretty well, kind of shades of the Flareon matchup last week. And this is important for this turn is really important. Edahl goes for a bulk up on the last turn of Tailwind, because he knows Facade is maybe Facade was a roll here, or he wanted to be set up well to have that increased defense and have his attack back to normal. I'm not sure why he didn't go for the kill. Like I said, maybe Facade was a roll, but thankfully he does that, and I go for Psyshield Bash, and I get my defense raised, and now the Tailwind peters out, and I'm faster. And Psyshield Bash is enough to kill the Machamp. So after navigating through kind of a little bit of a hairy situation with that, we're at +2 defense and 41% HP, very similar to last week's scenario. And then the Talonflame comes out. I actually live an Air Slash, and it's because I have an Eviolite still. I didn't get knocked off this week, so I have the Eviolite. We live that. We're able to Facade and take this bird so close to dead. So close to dead. Down to 2% HP, but I have Sucker Punch. So really good team building for the Blitzen set this week. I do get Flame Bodied, which takes me down to 10%. Decidueye is going to come out. I'm going to Sucker Punch because I'm going to die if he attacks me, so I might as well get some damage off. And it's, even though I'm burned, it's still going to be super effective. He goes for Sword Stance, though, and this is where I start to sweat a little bit. Goes for Sword Stance again. I am just trying to do any damage that I can. So I Psyshield Bash. Now, this Decidueye is at 3x attack, and I've got a Jumpluff at 50% HP. And here's where the evil plan kicks off. If I Strength Sap, he'll be knocked down to +3 attack and not +4. And I'll be able to get back up to full HP, and then potentially have it to where my sash will get broken. So I'm going to go for that. We're going to lower his attack, get back up to full. Psycho Cut does not do enough. Does not do enough to break my sash. So we're going to go for it again. Lower that attack stat all the way down, heal all the way back up, and then he poltergeists. And this is what we wanted. He poltergeists at +2. It's enough to break my sash. I was at 100%, down to 1, and now acrobatics is enough, even with a really good play from him with the Koba Berry to eat the flying type move. Ryan goes for Swords Dance here instead of killing the Dandelion. I think probably because he thought I didn't have anything that could kill him. I don't think he expected acrobatics. I bet he, was maybe thinking, oh, okay, it's going to U-turn or it's going to keep strength sapping me. So goes for that Swords Dance again to boost his attack, but is in a tough spot because Decidueye doesn't run priority for this set, and I am faster than everything on his team. So instead of killing me, he goes for that Swords Dance, and it is his undoing. Acrobatics comes in, and we get a kill with Jumpluff. Goes into Berserker. I'm going to go into Strength Sap and get all the way back up. He's going to double edge me, though, and that's going to do enough damage to where he feels like he needs to jump out. That attack stat being lowered is so clutch in the matchup here. It's enough to where he needs to pop back out so that he can reset and be at full strength to take on the rest of my team. So he goes into Druddigan, and I'm just going to Strength Sap and get my health back, lower that attack stat, acrobatics. I get another kill. Rough Skin's unfortunate. Rocky Helmet's good. But then he goes into Frostmoth. I acrobatics again. We get 3 kills with Jumpluff this week. And then to finish out here, I'm just going to Strength Sap the Berserker. I get double edge crit, which is kind of funny, but we do end up with a spot where Nigel's Volt Switch will just do enough damage to take out the Berserker. So we get kind of like a Jumpluff mini sweep in the middle of this game, and we win 3-0 against our nemesis Edahl. Super fun game. It was a 3-0, so I get 1 extra protection other than my partner Pokemon. And we'll talk about the post-game stuff here in a second. But GG's to Edahl, because that was, wow, that was crazy. A Jumpluff mini sweep in the middle of that game. I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. And Strength Sap is just such a good move. Such a good move. So we'll kick back over to our team builder page here, and I will run through we just did the replay, and now we'll talk about the steal. So I protected the Jumpluff. A little bit of a recency bias there, but I did protect my Jumpluff from being stolen. Along with the Tentacruel. I also, a recency bias and like the cool factor of getting that sweep, definitely like I wanted to keep it. But Jumpluff is such a good utility Pokemon that I felt like I need to keep it around. It's got offensive potential in the right circumstance, but it's also just a really, really good, utility mod. It can do so much. The move pool is great. We've used it twice now this season, and it's won us 2 games potentially, and I think it's just a really underrated piece of our puzzle. We can find offense, we can find defense through pack rerolls and other things like that, but those really unique puzzle pieces are really important, and I felt like it was worth the protection this week. So, that being said, Avalugg, Kilowattrel, Stantler, and Wailord were fair game for the steal. So if I hide myself and then I go into what actually happened, unfortunately, Kilowattrel's time on the Goldenrod Radio Rockets was very limited. We had it for 1 week. It came in and got 1 good game here in this season, and we are given our 3rd Poison type Pokemon in Seviper. So let's talk about Seviper. Honestly, Seviper, not bad attack stats at all. Base 100 on both the physical and special attack stats, but that's really the only thing it's got going for it. It's a poison type, so it's another ground weakness for me, and I lose an immunity again in Kilowattrel. Its HP and speed stats are very lackluster, and the defenses are not great either. So Seviper adding to our team, it really hurts. And here is where kind of the cool thing about week 3 was that we got another roster update. We were able to, in week 3 here, all the teams got one free roster switch. So we could either trade with another team, which we haven't been able to do outside of the steals every week. We could trade with another team 1-for-1 and be able to, or even like multiple for multiple, I think. That might be wrong. But 1-for-1 trades for sure. Or we could do any free agent swap we wanted. So normally you would have to normally you would have to swap out your partner Pokemon for a 1-for-1 trade, or you would have to do like a pack reroll and then trade 3 Pokemon out. But this week we were able to do a 1-for-1 trade, and Kilowattrel leaving us really hurt for a lot of reasons. Speed, special attack, a ground immunity, those are the big ones, right? So I needed to replace what I lost. And in the speed department and the ground immunity, man, Swallow seemed like a good pick. So Seviper was on the roster for about 5 minutes, and then we dropped it to pick up Swallow. This is kind of our 1-for-1 free trade for the week, and will give us not as painful of a steal here from Edahl. Kilowattrel would have been sweet to keep. It's a really cool Pokemon, and I think it's got a ton of potential in the right circumstances. I feel like I could have run Rain again and again and again. Oh my gosh, my face is in the way. We could have run Rain again and again and again, and been able to abuse Thunder and Hurricane. But unfortunately, that's Edahl's problem now, and we needed to grab Swallow to change things up. So a cool roster change for us to be able to mitigate some of the damages. And that brings kind of our full roster to where we are now. So we are 3-0 halfway through the season, and we are +7 overall for differential. So we've got some really great pieces to the puzzle on the board here. Avalugg is 4-1. Still kind of like the MVP, definitely. Stantler is creeping up there now at 4-2, and Jumpluff now after this week is 3-2 after getting 3 kills. So those are kind of our kill leaders. It's been a lot of grindy Pokemon games, and that is kind of how this season is going. We don't really have the big the big knockout potential on the offensive side. It's a lot of like battles of attrition. We're not getting big 6-0, 5-0 sweeps or victories, but we're getting 2 and 3-0 wins. And that is a great way to make the playoffs, and that is the goal. So we are doing much better in the speed department, having Swallow come in and instead of the Seviper, but it's still kind of a weakness for our team. Tentacruel, Jumpluff, and Swallow are really like the only fast things that I have, and then offensively there are some holes to fill on the special side for sure, and that I've got really good pieces in their respective roles. We're making it work really, really well. The type chart ground is still a problem. Half my team is weak to ground, but we do have that immunity in Swallow that we picked up, so that is nice. Our next game is against the Cleveland Cloisters. We're playing Aaron, who is no slouch. They're a divisional opponent who is nipping at our heels. We're 3-0. We're leading the division, but Hoop and Aaron are both behind me, nipping at my heels at 2-1, and we need to make sure that for us to stay in first place in our division and one of the top 2 slots to make the playoffs, we need to make sure that we win and that we're in the driver's seat for for playoffs and kind of making it to the next level. Overall standings, we are in third place right behind the Yankton Yan Megas. They're also 3-0 with their +8, and the Brooklyn Braviaries are in first place overall at +11. So lots of teams doing really great things. I think we're in really good shape as a squad overall. And I'm excited to build for week 4 and keep the train rolling. So thanks for watching. Half-hour video, kind of right in the sweet spot for Pokemon video. So I hope you enjoyed the Jumpluff. Thanks for sticking with me through week number 3. Week 4 will be hopefully sometime in the next week and a half. I am on the road again for work next week. We're headed to Missouri, which is kind of neat. So we'll try and get a video up next week. I don't know when Aaron and I are going to play. It might not be until next weekend when I get back. So it might be a little bit of a break for the content, but I gave you 2 videos tonight. So take it and enjoy it. Like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube thing, watch the other coaches' videos, and we'll see you very, very soon for week number 4. Peace.